Rich man sees his fiancée throw away his daughter's gift and makes an unexpected decision. Michael Anderson felt his chest tighten as he watched from the window of the Garden restaurant in Santa Monica. His fiancée, Jennifer Wilson, was walking toward the sidewalk trash can with something in her hands. He had left his cell phone on the table and returned to get it when he witnessed that scene that would change everything. The small, colorful package Jennifer was throwing in the trash with disdain was the gift his 8-year-old daughter Emma had prepared with so much affection. The little girl had spent 3 weeks making a hand-painted pasta necklace, each piece chosen and colored with the pure love of a child who wanted to win the heart of her future stepmother. "Daddy, do you think Aunt Jennifer will like it?" Em had asked the night before, holding the small package against her chest. Her eyes shone with hope as she showed the little bow she had made herself. Michael watched Jennifer wipe her hands on a paper napkin and throw it away too, as if she had touched something dirty. She continued walking toward the car without looking back, without even realizing she had been seen. At that moment, a chill in his stomach took over him. During the entire dinner, Jennifer had praised the gift in front of Em. "How beautiful, sweetheart. It's perfect," she said, hugging the girl with a smile that Michael now understood was completely fake. Little Em had been radiant, excitedly telling every detail of making the necklace, how she had chosen the colors, how her school art teacher had helped with the paint, how she wanted it to be special for the woman who would be her new mother. Michael returned to the table, trying to control the anger growing in his chest. Jennifer was already seated, scrolling through her phone naturally. "You took a while," she said, without looking up from the screen. "I had to take an important call," he lied, watching every detail of her face. During the rest of the dinner, Michael couldn't stop thinking about the scene he had witnessed. Jennifer talked about the wedding preparations, about the dress she had ordered in Chicago, about the honeymoon they had planned for Europe. But he could only think of his daughter's happy expression when she gave the gift. On the way home, inside the car, the silence was heavy. Michael drove through the streets of Santa Monica, trying to find words to confront Jennifer about what he saw, but something stopped him. Perhaps it was the fear of discovering that his worst fears about her were true. "You're acting strange tonight," Jennifer commented, adjusting the visor mirror to reapply her lipstick. "Did something happen at the office?" "No, everything's fine," he replied, gripping the steering wheel tightly. When they arrived at the penthouse in Beverly Hills, Em was waiting for them awake in the living room despite the late hour. Mrs. Peterson, the housekeeper who had cared for the girl for 5 years, since Em's mother had passed away, was trying to convince her to go to sleep. "I want to know if Aunt Jennifer liked my gift," the girl insisted, bouncing energetically on the sofa. Michael felt his heart tighten, seeing the expectation in his daughter's eyes. Jennifer approached and stroked the girl's blonde hair with a smile that he now realized was rehearsed. "Of course I liked it, sweetheart. It's the most beautiful gift I've ever received," Jennifer said, but her voice sounded mechanical. "Will you wear it tomorrow?" asked Em, holding Jennifer's hands. "Yes, I will, dear. Now go to sleep, it's late." Em gave Jennifer a kiss and ran to hug her father. "Daddy, Aunt Jennifer liked it. She's going to wear my necklace," she whispered in his ear happily. Michael hugged his daughter tightly, feeling a mixture of love and pain that was hard to bear. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, please take a moment to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It really helps us who are just starting out. Now continuing. After Em went to sleep, Michael and Jennifer were alone in the living room. The luxurious penthouse setting, overlooking Santa Monica Beach, couldn't hide the tension hanging in the air. "I need to ask you something," said Michael, pouring 2 glasses of wine. "Go ahead," replied Jennifer, settling onto the Italian leather sofa. "What did you do with Emma's gift?" The question caught Jennifer off guard. She blinked several times before answering. "It's in my car. Why do you ask?" "Are you absolutely sure it's in your car?" insisted Michael, watching every micro-expression on her face. "Michael, what kind of strange question is that?" "Of course it's in my car. I carefully put it away to take home." The lie came out naturally, but Michael knew people well enough to recognize when someone was lying. Years in business had taught him to read people. "I'll go get it then. I want to see where you put it." "No need," Jennifer said quickly, rising from the sofa. "It's late, I'll bring it tomorrow." "Jennifer, I saw you throwing it in the trash." The silence that followed was sharp. Jennifer stopped in the middle of the room, her back to him. When she turned around, her expression had completely changed. "So what?" she said, crossing her arms. "It was a macaroni necklace, Michael. A child's toy. A toy she made with love for you. Michael, children need to learn about the real world. I can't go around carrying junk. Imagine if someone saw me wearing that around my neck." Jennifer's words hit Michael like a punch to the stomach. He felt nauseous, realizing the coldness with which she spoke about his daughter's gift. "Junk?" he repeated, incredulous. "Let's be practical. Emma needs to understand that there are appropriate and inappropriate gifts. She's 8 years old, not a baby anymore. She's a child making a gesture of love." "She's a spoiled child who needs to learn boundaries," retorted Jennifer, picking up her purse. "I'm going home. We're arguing over nonsense." "Nonsense?" Michael stood up, blocking her path. "My daughter's feelings are nonsense to you." "Don't be dramatic. Tomorrow I'll buy her a proper gift and tell her I love the necklace. Problem solved." "It's not about the necklace, Jennifer. It's about who you really are." "And who am I, according to you?" Michael looked at the woman he planned to marry and realized he didn't truly know her. During their 8-month relationship, Jennifer had always been affectionate with Emma in his presence. But that night, a mask had fallen. "I don't know anymore," he admitted, sitting down again. Jennifer sighed and approached, placing her hand on his shoulder. "Mike, I know you want to protect Emma. You're a wonderful father. But marriage is about the two of us, about building a life together. I can't compete with a child for your affection. You don't need to compete. You just need to love her. And I do. But in my own way, not the way you expect." That night, Michael lay in bed, unable to sleep. Jennifer's words echoed in his mind, but it was the image of her throwing Emma's gift in the trash that troubled him most. For years, since his wife Rebecca had passed away when Emma was 3, he had devoted himself entirely to his daughter. He built a real estate empire thinking of her future, but had never seriously considered remarrying. Until he met Jennifer at a business party. She was smart, elegant, a business administration graduate from NYU, and seemed genuinely interested in getting to know Emma. Or at least, that's what he believed. The next morning, Emma woke up early and ran to her father's room. "Daddy, is Aunt Jennifer already gone?" she asked, jumping on the bed. "Yes, Princess, she had to work early today." "Did she take the necklace to wear to work?" Michael felt a lump in his throat. How do you explain to an 8-year-old that the person she trusted completely had thrown away her gift? "She kept it in a special place," he lied, hugging his daughter. "I want to make another gift for her, maybe a really pretty drawing." Em's innocence broke Michael Anderson's heart. The little girl was so eager to win Jennifer Wilson's affection that she didn't notice the signs of rejection. During breakfast, served by Mrs. Peterson on the balcony table overlooking the ocean, Em chatted about the plans she had for the wedding. "Daddy, can I be the flower girl? My teacher said the flower girl wears a really pretty dress and throws petals." "Of course you can, Princess. And after the wedding, will Aunt Jennifer live here with us forever?" "That's the plan," replied Michael, but for the first time he doubted his own words. Mrs. Peterson watched the conversation in silence, but Michael noticed a worried expression on her face. The housekeeper had known Em since she was a baby and had a genuine fondness for the girl. "Mrs. Peterson, could you take Em to school today? I need to take care of some business." "Of course, Mr. Anderson, you can count on me." After Em left for school, Michael was alone in the penthouse trying to sort out his thoughts. He picked up the phone and called Jennifer. "Hi, honey," she answered in a sweet voice. "How are you?" "We need to talk about yesterday." "Michael, I've been thinking a lot and I think I overreacted. You're right, I shouldn't have thrown the gift away. It was insensitive of me." The sudden change in Jennifer's tone made Michael suspicious. She seemed to be following a script. "I want you to talk to Em. Explain what happened." "Of course. I'll buy a nice gift for her and apologize. How about we meet for lunch? Can I stop by?" "Better not. Em is at school and I have meetings all day." Then tonight, we can have dinner at your place and talk calmly. Michael agreed, but a bad feeling lingered. Throughout the workday at the Anderson Properties office in Brentwood, he couldn't concentrate. He cancelled 2 important meetings and asked his assistant, Sarah, not to forward any non-urgent calls. Around noon, Michael decided to do something he had never done before: discreetly investigate the woman he planned to marry. He called an acquaintance who worked in private investigations. "Derek, I need a favor. Nothing illegal, just some basic information about a person." "Sure, Michael, what do you need?" Michael gave him Jennifer's details and asked Derek to check her professional and personal background. Something inside him said he needed to know more about the woman who would be his daughter's stepmother. In the afternoon, while picking up Em from school, Michael watched other children handing drawings and little projects to their parents. He remembered how proud Em was of her school projects, always eager to show her creations to him. "Daddy, look what I made today," shouted Em, running toward him with a sheet of paper in her hands. It was a drawing of 3 people holding hands: him, her, and Jennifer. Above it, a big heart with the word family written in colorful letters. "Who is that drawing for, Princess?" "For Aunt Jennifer. I want to give it to her tonight when she comes for dinner." Michael looked at the drawing and felt a mix of pride and worry. The hope in Em's eyes was so pure that he couldn't bear the thought of seeing her disappointed again. "How about we save this drawing for a special occasion?" he suggested. "But I want to give it today. She'll be happy. Let's talk about it at home, okay?" On the way, Em told him about her day at school, about gym class, about the math test she had aced. Her joy was contagious, but Michael couldn't shake the anguish he'd felt since the previous night. When they arrived home, Jennifer was already waiting for them in the living room. She had brought a bouquet of flowers and a gift box. "Hi, sweetheart," she said, kissing Michael on the cheek. Then she bent down to be at Em's eye level. "Hey there, Princess. How was school today?" "Aunt Jennifer, I made a drawing for you." Em proudly showed her creation of the day. Jennifer took the paper and examined it carefully. Michael watched her every reaction, looking for signs of insincerity. "How beautiful, Em. Thank you so much, I'll treasure it. Can you put it on your refrigerator at home?" "Of course I can. And look, I brought a gift for you too. To apologize for losing your necklace yesterday." Em opened the box and found a golden bracelet with shiny little stones, clearly expensive and sophisticated. "Wow, how pretty," exclaimed the girl, but Michael noticed her reaction lacked the spontaneity she had when giving her own handmade gifts. During dinner, prepared by Mrs. Peterson, the conversation flowed normally. Jennifer talked about her workday at a marketing company, Em chatted about her school friends, and Michael tried to observe the interaction between the two. For a moment, he even thought he might have overreacted the previous night. Jennifer seemed genuinely interested in Em's stories, asking questions about school and praising the drawings the girl showed her. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, please take a moment to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It really helps us who are just starting out. Now continuing, after dinner, while Em watched cartoons in the living room, Michael and Jennifer went to the balcony to talk. "Thank you for bringing her a gift," said Michael. "It meant a lot. I was really wrong yesterday. Sometimes I'm too practical and forget that children see the world differently. Em has grown very fond of you. She really wants you to be part of our family. And I want that too, Michael. I love you and want this to work." Jennifer moved closer and kissed him. For a moment, Michael felt that perhaps his fears were unfounded. Maybe Jennifer had simply made a mistake the previous night. But when they returned to the living room, they found Em asleep on the sofa. Jennifer offered to carry the girl to her room. "Let me take her," said Michael. "No need. She's light. I can manage." Michael watched Jennifer carrying Em in her arms. The girl woke up slightly during the journey. "Aunt Jennifer?" she murmured sleepily. "Shh. Go back to sleep. I'm taking you to bed. Will you be my real mum?" Michael stopped in the hallway, listening to the conversation. Jennifer took a few seconds to respond. "We'll see, sweetheart. Now sleep." It wasn't exactly the loving response Michael had hoped to hear. After Jennifer put Em to bed, he went to his daughter's room to say goodnight. "Daddy, Aunt Jennifer said she'll think about whether she wants to be my mum," whispered Em, still drowsy. "She said that?" "She said we'll see. Does that mean maybe she doesn't want to? Michael felt anger rising in his chest, but controlled his voice to avoid frightening his daughter. Don't worry about that now, Princess. Sleep well. Daddy, am I not good enough to have a mom? The question broke Michael's heart. He sat on the bed and hugged his daughter tightly. You're perfect just the way you are, Em. Never doubt that. You're the most important thing in my life. But the other kids at school have moms. Olivia said moms give goodnight kisses and help brush hair. Mrs. Peterson does that for you. But she's not my mom, she's an employee. Michael realized that despite all his efforts, Em was missing a mother figure. This made her cling to any possibility of having a mother, even if that person didn't reciprocate. Em, I want you to understand something important. You don't need to earn anyone's love. The people who deserve to be in our life will love you exactly as you are. Will Aunt Jennifer love me? I don't know, sweetheart. But if she can't love you the way you deserve, then she isn't the right person for us. After Em fell asleep, Michael returned to the living room where Jennifer was waiting. She told me what you said to her in the bedroom. He confronted her directly. What did I say? When she asked if you would be her mother, you said, "We'll see." Michael, she caught me off guard. I didn't know how to respond. The obvious answer would have been, yes, of course I'll be your mother. But that would be lying. I'm still getting used to this idea. I've never been a mother before. I don't know how to handle these situations. You don't need to know how to handle it. You just need to want to. I do want to, but in my own time. I can't force feelings that I'm still developing. Michael realized they were having the same conversation as the night before, just with different words. Jennifer always managed to justify herself logically, but there was something about her coldness that deeply bothered him. I think we should postpone the wedding, he said suddenly. The suggestion caught Jennifer completely off guard. What? Because of this? I need to be sure you really want to be part of our family. Not just my life, but Em's life too. Michael, you're being dramatic. All couples go through an adjustment period. This isn't about adjustment. It's about genuine love. Are you doubting my love for you? I'm doubting your love for Em. Jennifer stayed silent for a few minutes, nervously fidgeting with the bracelet on her wrist. If that's what you want, fine. We can postpone. But I won't wait forever, Michael. I have a life too. The way she said it sounded almost like a threat. Michael felt a chill run down his spine. What kind of life do you have, Jennifer? What do I really know about you? You know everything you need to know. I have a business degree. I work at a marketing firm. I live in the Marina District. I've never been married. What else do you want to know? Why have you never been married? You're 32, beautiful, intelligent. Never had a serious relationship? I've had a few, but I never found the right person until I met you. And children? You always knew I had a daughter from our first date. Why did you decide to get involved with me? Because I love you, she answered, but her voice lacked conviction. Jennifer, can I ask you a direct question? Go ahead. Do you love me or do you love my financial situation? The question hung in the air like an accusation. Jennifer stood up abruptly from the couch. How dare you ask me that? It's a legitimate question. You showed up in my life, showed interest in getting to know my daughter, accepted my marriage proposal in record time. Any man in my position would ask that question. Michael, if you don't trust me, then we really don't have a future. Maybe we don't, he agreed. Jennifer grabbed her purse and headed for the door. I'm going home. Call me when you decide to stop being paranoid. After she left, Michael stood alone in the living room, watching the city lights through the window. A sense of relief came over him, as if a weight had been lifted from his shoulders. The next day, Michael woke up with Em jumping on his bed. Daddy, where's Aunt Jennifer? Didn't she stay for breakfast? She had to leave early, sweetheart. Did she take the drawing I made? Michael noticed the drawing was still on the coffee table. She forgot it, but you can give it to her next time. When is she coming back? I don't know, Em. It might be a while. During breakfast, Michael observed how his daughter was radiant, even without Jennifer's presence. She was telling stories from school, showing the homework she had done, planning what she wanted to do over the weekend. Her joy was natural and spontaneous. "Daddy, can I invite Lily to sleep over here on Saturday?" asked Em, referring to her best friend from school. "Of course you can. We'll ask Mrs. Peterson to make popcorn and you can watch a movie." "That's so cool, and can Aunt Jennifer watch with us?" "Let's see if she'll be free on Saturday." Michael realized he was starting to use the same evasive language he had so often criticized in Jennifer. He didn't want to lie to his daughter, but he also didn't know how to explain that the wedding might not happen. At the office, Michael asked Sarah to cancel all the wedding preparations that hadn't been finalized yet. "Is there a problem, Mr. Anderson?" asked the assistant, concerned. "Just some adjustments I need to make, nothing definitive yet." Around noon, Michael received a call from Derek, the private investigator. "Michael, I got some information about Jennifer Wilson. Do you have time to talk?" "I do, go ahead." "Well, professionally, everything checks out. She really does work at the company," she said, "has a good reputation. But I found some interesting things about her personal life." "What kind of things?" "She's had several relationships with men of high purchasing power, always widowed or divorced men with children. 3 long-term relationships in the last 5 years, all ended abruptly." "Did you manage to speak with any of them?" "I did. The last one, a businessman in the hotel sector named Richard Taylor. He told me a story very similar to yours." Michael felt his stomach turn to ice. "Similar how?" "Quick relationship, early introduction to the children, a marriage proposal accepted quickly. But when he started noticing she treated his children poorly when she thought no one was looking, he tried to talk to her, and she became manipulative." "Manipulative how?" "Emotional blackmail, threats to tell intimate secrets to harm him professionally. He only managed to get rid of her by paying a considerable sum for her to sign a confidentiality agreement." Michael was silent, processing the information. "Michael, are you still there?" "I am. Continue." "The guy before this, Richard, had a similar situation. Widowed businessman, 2 young daughters. The story repeated itself. She gained his trust, got close to the children, but when he tried to break it off because he realized she was only interested in the money, she blackmailed him." "And did he pay too?" "He paid. He even gave me his contact information. If you want to talk, I can arrange it." "Yes, I do. Send me the details." "Michael, can I give you some advice? If you're thinking of breaking up with her, do it smartly. This woman has a pattern of behavior and she's probably already 1 step ahead." After hanging up, Michael sat paralyzed in his chair. Everything was starting to make sense. The speed with which Jennifer agreed to date him, the rush to meet Emma, the wedding scheduled for just 8 months after they met. He remembered all the personal and professional information he had shared with her during intimate moments. Details about his business, about important contracts, about investments. Information that, in the wrong hands, could be used against him. Around 3 in the afternoon, Jennifer called him. "Hi, honey. I thought about our conversation yesterday and I think you're right. We really should postpone the wedding. That way I'll have more time to get closer to Emma." The sudden change in behavior confirmed Michael's suspicions. Jennifer had spent the night planning a new strategy. "I'm glad you understand," he said, keeping a neutral tone. "How about we have dinner tonight? Just the 2 of us without Em. We can talk about the future more calmly." "I can't tonight, I have commitments." "Tomorrow then?" "I'll check my schedule and call you." "Michael, you're acting strange. Did something happen?" "I'm just tired. A lot going on at work." "I understand. But we don't want work problems to affect our relationship, right?" The way she said it sounded like a reminder that she had information about his business. Michael decided to test her limits. "Actually, I'm thinking about making some changes at the company. Maybe it would be good to talk about it." "What kind of changes?" "Nothing definite yet, just some ideas." "Michael, you know you can trust me with anything, right? I'm your partner, your future wife. Your problems are my problems too." Michael realized she was trying to extract information from him. She probably wanted to know if he suspected something or was planning anything that could affect his financial situation. "I know I can trust you," he lied. "But they're just ideas for now. When I have something concrete, we'll talk." "Okay, I love you, Michael." "I love you too," he lied again. After hanging up, Michael called Derek back. I need you to dig deeper into the investigation. I want to know everything about her past relationships, especially about the blackmail you mentioned, and I want to meet these men in person. I can arrange a meeting with Richard Taylor for tonight if you want. Perfect, arrange it. Michael left the office early and stopped by Em's school. He wanted to pick her up himself and spend some quality time with her. "Daddy, what a nice surprise," shouted Em when she saw him at the school gate. "I thought I'd pick you up today. How about we get some ice cream before going home?" "Can I really? That's so cool." During their snack at an ice cream parlor in Santa Monica, Michael watched his daughter's spontaneous joy. She talked about her science class, about a project she was doing with modeling clay, about a new song she had learned. "Daddy, why are you looking at me like that?" asked Em, licking her chocolate ice cream. "I'm just seeing how much you've grown. Sometimes Daddy gets so busy that he forgets to notice these things." "You don't forget. You're the best daddy in the world. And you're the best daughter in the world." "Daddy, can I ask you something?" "Of course, Princess." "If Aunt Jennifer doesn't want to be my mom, will you get another girlfriend?" The question caught Michael off guard. He realized Em was more aware of the situation than he had imagined. "Why are you asking that?" "Because I heard you talking yesterday. You were talking about postponing the wedding." Michael sighed. He didn't want to lie to his daughter, but he also didn't want to worry her unnecessarily. Sometimes adults need time to think about important things like marriage. It doesn't mean something is wrong. "But if she doesn't love me, you won't marry her." "Em, anyone who joins our family needs to love you just the way you are. That's not negotiable. And if nobody loves me, that will never happen. You're easy to love, Princess. Anyone with a good heart who meets you will fall in love with you." "How can you be sure?" "Because I fell in love with you the second you were born, and Mrs. Peterson loves you, and your grandparents love you, and your little friends at school love you. Are Grandma Margaret and Grandpa William coming to visit me this weekend?" "Yes, they are. They called yesterday wanting to know if they could come on Sunday." "That's great, I'll show them the new drawing I made." Michael smiled. His late wife's parents had always been present in Em's life. They lived in Connecticut and came to visit her at least twice a month. "They'll love seeing your drawing. Daddy, do you think they liked Aunt Jennifer when she came here?" Michael remembered the lunch where Jennifer met Em's grandparents. At the time, he thought it had gone well, but now, reconsidering, he realized that Margaret had asked Jennifer some direct questions about her plans regarding the little girl. "Why are you asking?" "Because Grandma Margaret asked me if I was happy with Aunt Jennifer. I thought it was strange for her to ask that." "And what did you answer?" "That I wanted her to like me. Then Grandma said something I didn't quite understand." "What did she say?" "She said that people who deserve to be in our lives don't need to be won over. They simply love us." Michael smiled. Margaret had always been a wise woman. Apparently she had noticed something about Jennifer that took him months to see. "Grandma Margaret always gives very good advice. Do you think she didn't like Aunt Jennifer?" "I don't know, Princess. Let's ask her on Sunday." Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, please take a moment to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It really helps us who are just starting out. Now, continuing. That night, after Em went to sleep, Michael left the house to meet Richard Taylor at a restaurant in Beverly Hills. The man was about 45 years old, looked tired, and seemed to carry a weight on his shoulders. "Michael Anderson?" asked Richard upon seeing him arrive. "That's me, thank you for agreeing to meet me. Derek told me about your situation. When he mentioned the name Jennifer Wilson, I knew I had to tell you my story." They sat at a reserved table, away from other customers. "How long did you date her?" asked Michael. 8 months, exactly like you. She has a very defined schedule." "How did you meet?" "At a business party, just like you. She approached me, showed genuine interest in my company, in my life. She was smart, charming, seemed perfect." "And your children?" "I have 2 children, 6 and 9 years old. She met them in the second week of dating. She said she loved children, that she always wanted to be a mother. She seemed genuine." Michael felt as if he were listening to his own story. "When did you start to suspect something?" "In the 4th month. My youngest son made a drawing for her, and I saw her throwing it away when she thought no one was looking. When I confronted her, she justified it by saying she was organizing his things. "Exactly like with me," murmured Michael. After that, I started paying more attention. I noticed she was affectionate with the children only when I was around. When she thought she wasn't being watched, she ignored them or spoke coldly. "And how did she react when you tried to break up?" Richard sighed deeply. "First, she tried to convince me I was imagining things. Then came the crying, the drama, saying she loved me. When that didn't work, came the threats." "What kind of threats?" "She knew intimate details about my business. During our relationship, I shared confidential information with her without realizing I was being manipulated into it. She threatened to leak this information to my competitors if I didn't pay her a considerable sum to start her life over." "And did you pay?" "I did, $200,000. At the time, it seemed easier than facing a scandal that could ruin my business." "Did she keep her word?" "Yes. We signed a confidentiality agreement and she disappeared from my life. But 3 months later, I found out she was dating another widowed businessman with young children." Michael felt nauseated. He had shared many details about his business with Jennifer. Information about ongoing contracts, about investments, about strategic partnerships. "Richard, can I ask you something? Did you ever investigate her past during the relationship?" "Unfortunately, no. I trusted her blindly. Only later did I discover there were other men in the same situation." Derek mentioned 3 relationships. As far as I know, there were at least 5 in the last 6 years. Always widowed or divorced men, always with young children, always successful businessmen. "How does she choose her victims?" "She attends business events, charity parties, places where she can meet men who fit the profile she's looking for. She's very good at researching her victims before approaching them. When she met me, she already knew details about my company, about my wife who had passed away, about my children." Michael remembered how Jennifer seemed to know so much about him, even on their first date. At the time, he thought it was genuine interest. "Are you in contact with the other victims?" "I'm in contact with 2. If you want, I can introduce you. We all have similar stories." "I do want that. And Richard, do you think she'll try to blackmail me?" "Absolutely. It's her pattern. First, she tries to win you back using charm and emotional manipulation. If that doesn't work, comes the blackmail." "How can I protect myself?" "Document everything. Record conversations. Keep records of all interactions. And be careful what you tell her from now on. Any information can be used against you." "Does she have access to my financial information?" "I hope not. Did you give her an additional credit card?" Michael felt his blood run cold. He had given Jennifer a corporate card to use in emergencies. "My God, I did. Cancel it immediately and check all the expenses she made. She probably used your money to fund the lifestyle she maintains to attract other victims." Michael immediately grabbed his phone and called the bank, canceling the card and requesting a detailed statement of all expenses. "Richard, thank you for telling me all this. You may have saved not only my life, but my daughter's as well. Just don't make the same mistake I did. Don't pay her to go away. If you do that, you'll be funding her to do the same thing to another man, to other children." When Michael returned home, it was past 11 at night. Em was fast asleep in her room, and Mrs. Peterson had left a note saying everything had gone well during his absence. Michael went to his home office and turned on the computer. He needed to review all the documents and information he had shared with Jennifer. For hours, he made a list of all the details she knew about his business. The list was frightening. Jennifer knew about multi-million-dollar contracts, about international partnerships, about investments in new technologies. Information that, in the hands of competitors, could cause enormous damage. Around 2 in the morning, Michael received a text message from Jennifer. "I couldn't sleep thinking about our conversation today. Can we see each other tomorrow? I really need to talk to you. I love you." He didn't respond. In the morning, while having coffee with Em, Michael tried to maintain normality, but his head was buzzing with plans on how to protect himself and his daughter. "Daddy, did you sleep badly?" "You have dark circles," observed Em, always attentive. "I just stayed up working late, Princess. Nothing serious." "Is Aunt Jennifer coming for lunch today?" "I don't know, Em. Maybe she's busy." "Can I call her? I want to tell her about the Portuguese test that went well." "Better not, Princess. Let Daddy talk to her first, okay? During the drive to school, Michael made a decision. He would confront Jennifer directly, but in a smart way. He needed her to reveal herself, without knowing that he already knew about her schemes. At the office, Michael asked Sarah to schedule a meeting with his lawyers for that afternoon. He needed to prepare legally for what was to come. Around 10 in the morning, Jennifer called. "Good morning, love. Did you see my message last night?" "I did, but I was already asleep when it arrived." "Can we have lunch together? I miss you." "I certainly can. Where would you like to go?" "How about the garden, where we went the day before yesterday? I liked the atmosphere there." Michael found it ironic that she chose the same place where he had seen her throwing M's gift in the trash. "Perfect. 12:30. I'll be waiting for you." At 11:30, Michael was at the restaurant, but he arrived before Jennifer on purpose. He asked the waiter to seat them at the same table as last time, near the window with a view of the sidewalk trash can. Jennifer arrived promptly at 12:30, wearing an elegant dress and a smile that Michael now realized was calculated. "Hi, honey," she said, kissing him on the cheek. "How are you?" "I'm fine. And you?" "Better now that I'm with you." During lunch, Jennifer tried to steer the conversation toward topics related to Michael's work. "How's business? You seemed worried yesterday." "Actually, it's going very well. I closed a big contract last night." "That's great. For how much?" $5 million, to build a commercial complex in Brentwood." Michael was lying, testing whether Jennifer would try to verify the information or use it in some way. "Wow, how wonderful. You hadn't told me about this project before." "It came up at the last minute. A Chinese investor who appeared interested in expanding his business to Brazil." "Chinese? How interesting. How did you meet him?" Michael realized that Jennifer was trying to extract details about the supposed contract. "Why so many questions about work? I thought you wanted to talk about us." "Of course I do. It's just that I'm happy for your success. We're a couple. Your successes are my successes too." "Speaking of which, I need to tell you something. I'll have to travel to China next week to finalize the details of this contract." "China? For how long?" 2 weeks, maybe 3. It will depend on the negotiations." "And who will M stay with?" "With Mrs. Peterson, as always." "Why?" "I can take care of her for you. It would be a good opportunity for us to get closer." Michael felt a shiver. The idea of leaving M alone with Jennifer for 2 weeks terrified him. "It's kind of you to offer, but Mrs. Peterson is already used to her routine. Michael, if we're going to get married, I need to learn to take care of M. This would be a perfect opportunity." "Maybe next time. This trip is very important, and I can't worry about anything else." "I understand. Will you be taking a lot of confidential documentation?" The question confirmed Michael's suspicions. Jennifer was interested in the documents for the fictitious trip. "Yes, I will. Contracts, blueprints, technical specifications, a lot of confidential material." "Have you already arranged the documentation to enter China? Visa, those things?" "My assistant is taking care of that." After lunch, Michael walked Jennifer to her car. "Honey, about postponing the wedding, I thought it over and I think it was hasty. How about we go back to the original plans?" "What made you change your mind so quickly?" "I realized I was creating problems where there weren't any." "You're right. I can get closer to M after we're married. Love sometimes takes time to grow." Michael realized that Jennifer was changing her strategy. She had probably realized that blackmail would be more effective if they were married. "Let's see how things develop," he replied, keeping it vague. "Michael, are you sure everything's all right? I feel like there's something different about you." "It's just tiredness. A lot going on at work." "If you want to talk about anything, you know you can count on me, right? We're partners." The word partners sounded like a veiled threat. "I know I can count on you," he lied. After Jennifer left, Michael returned to the office and met with his lawyers. "Mr. Thompson, I need your help with a delicate situation," said Michael to his trusted lawyer of over 10 years. "You can speak, Michael. What's this about?" "My fiancée might try to blackmail me with confidential information about my business. I need to prepare for that possibility." "What kind of information does she have access to?" Michael explained the whole situation, from M's gift being thrown in the trash to the conversation with Richard Taylor. Michael, this situation is more serious than it seems. If this woman has a pattern of criminal behavior, we need to act preventively. Criminal? Blackmail is a crime. Extortion is a crime. If she's done this to other men, it could even constitute criminal association. But I don't want to press charges. I just want her out of my life and my daughter's life. I understand, but if you don't take legal measures, she'll keep doing this to other men, to other children. Michael thought about Richard Taylor's words. If he paid for Jennifer to leave, he'd be financing her to harm other families. What do you suggest? First, we'll document everything, all conversations, all contacts. Second, we'll reach out to the other victims to see if they're willing to file a collective complaint. Third, if she tries to blackmail you, we'll be prepared to take legal action. What if she leaks information about my business before we can do anything? That's why we need to be strategic. We'll make her reveal herself in a way that gives us irrefutable evidence against her. That afternoon, Michael picked up Em from school and decided to have an honest talk with her. Princess, I need to talk to you about something important. Is it about Aunt Jennifer? Yes, how did you know? Because you've been different ever since she threw my necklace away. Michael pulled the car into a parking lot and turned to look at his daughter. You knew she threw your necklace away? I saw it through the restaurant window. You thought I was in the bathroom, but I came back and saw her throwing it away. And why didn't you say anything? Because I thought if I were really good, she'd like me for real. I thought maybe my necklace wasn't good enough after all. Michael felt his heart break. His 8-year-old daughter had witnessed that cruelty and blamed herself for it. Em, listen to Daddy carefully. Your necklace was beautiful. Anyone with a good heart would be honored to receive a gift made by you with so much love. But she didn't like it. She didn't like it because there's something wrong with her heart, not with your gift. Do you understand the difference? I think so. Is it like Madison in my class, who's mean to everyone? Exactly. Madison isn't mean because the other kids did something wrong. She's mean because she has anger inside her. Does Aunt Jennifer have anger inside her? Aunt Jennifer isn't a good person, Princess, and maybe Daddy won't be dating her anymore. You're not going to get married anymore. Maybe not to her, but that doesn't change anything between you and me. We're a complete family just the way we are. Can I say something, Daddy? You can say anything. I never really liked her that much. She was only nice to me when you were around. When you left the room, she'd ignore me or talk to me like I was annoying. Why did you never tell me this? Because I saw that you were happy with her, and I wanted to have a mother. I thought if I tried hard enough, she'd love me. Michael hugged his daughter tightly, feeling a mix of pride and sadness. Pride for her emotional maturity, sadness that she had suffered in silence to not jeopardize his happiness. Em, never hide this kind of thing from me again. If someone treats you badly, I want to know. My job is to protect you. Okay, Daddy. Will you be sad if you don't marry her? I won't be sad. I'll be relieved to have found out what she's really like before it was too late. And will you get another girlfriend? I don't know, Princess. For now, I just want to take care of you and our business. If one day someone special comes along who loves you the way you deserve, we can talk about it, but it will never be mandatory. Our family is perfect just the way it is. I think it's better with just the two of us. It's more fun. Michael smiled. For the first time in weeks, he felt he was making the right choice. That night after Em went to sleep, Michael called Derek to schedule conversations with Jennifer's other victims. He needed to fully understand her pattern of behavior to prepare for what was to come. The next morning, while getting ready for work, Michael received an unexpected call. Michael? This is Margaret, Em's grandmother. Hi, Mrs. Margaret. How are you? I'm well, dear. I called because I need to talk to you about something important. Can I speak openly? Of course you can. It's about your fiancée, Jennifer. William and I became concerned after lunch here at our house. Concerned about what? About the way she treated Em when she thought no one was watching. She was cold, distant. And then, when Em showed her some drawings, she made a face of contempt. Are you sure? Yes, I am. William noticed it too. We try not to interfere in your life, Michael, but that woman is not good for Em. Michael felt relieved to know he wasn't imagining things. People who knew Em well had also noticed Jennifer's behavior. Mrs. Margaret, can I confess something to you? I've been suspicious of her too. I'm glad you noticed, son. Em is a special child. She deserves someone who truly loves her. Do you think Em noticed anything? She's very smart. Yesterday when we called her, she mentioned that Jennifer was only nice when you were around. She said that? She did, and she asked if it was normal for a stepmother not to like children. It was heartbreaking, Michael. Michael took a deep breath. Knowing that Em had shared her insecurities with her grandparents showed how much she was suffering from the situation. Mrs. Margaret, I will resolve this situation. Em won't have to go through this anymore. We trust you, Michael. You've always been a wonderful father. We just want you both to be happy. Thank you for telling me this. It means a lot to know that you're looking out for Em too. After hanging up, Michael felt even more determined to protect his daughter. Jennifer had fooled him, but she hadn't managed to fool an 8-year-old child or a pair of experienced elders. Around 9 in the morning at the office, Michael received an unexpected visitor. Mr. Michael, said Sarah through the intercom. Miss Jennifer is here and wants to speak with you urgently. Michael felt his stomach tighten. Jennifer had never shown up at his office unannounced before. Send her in. Jennifer entered the room with a serious expression Michael had never seen before. She was wearing more formal clothes than usual and carrying a briefcase. Michael, we need to talk. Go ahead. Not here. It's very private. Can we go to your meeting room? Michael took her to the private meeting room, closing the door behind them. Jennifer sat across the table and opened the briefcase. Michael, I know you've been distant and suspicious. I know you're investigating my past. The statement caught Michael off guard. How could she know? What are you talking about? Your private investigator spoke with Richard Taylor. Richard called to warn me. Michael felt his blood run cold. Richard had betrayed his trust. And why did Richard call you? Because he still owes me favors. Our separation wasn't as friendly as he told you. Jennifer took some documents out of the briefcase and placed them on the table. These are contracts and confidential documents that you showed me during our relationship. Information about partnerships, about investments, about business strategies that your competitors would pay a lot to access. Are you blackmailing me? I'm offering you a negotiation. You pay me 2 million reais and I disappear from your life, forever. I'll sign any confidentiality document you want. And if I don't pay, this information will reach your main competitors by tomorrow night. Some of these contracts you might lose, others could turn into lawsuits that will cost much more than 2 million. Michael looked at the documents. They were copies of real contracts, photographs of documents he had left on the table during romantic dinners, information that could really harm his business. Did you plan this from the beginning? I did. You're not the first and you won't be the last. It's business, Michael. Nothing personal. And Em? Was she also just part of your plan? Em was necessary to get close to you. Widowed men with children are the easiest targets. You're so desperate for a maternal figure for the child that you don't see the obvious. The coldness with which Jennifer spoke about his daughter made Michael feel anger like he had never felt before. You are a sick person. I'm a practical person. You have 48 hours to decide. 2 million reais or your information leaks. Simple as that. Jennifer put the documents back in her folder and stood up. Oh, and Michael, don't try to investigate me anymore. You won't like what you might find out about yourself in the process. After Jennifer left, Michael stayed alone in the meeting room, trying to process what had just happened. The woman he had almost married had turned out to be a professional criminal, and now she was blackmailing him. Michael picked up the phone and called Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, the situation has escalated. She just blackmailed me directly. I need you to come here now. I'm already on my way. Don't do anything until I arrive. In 20 minutes, Mr. Thompson was in Michael's office with 2 other lawyers. She made a serious mistake by making the blackmail in person, said Mr. Thompson. This gives us a legal basis to act. But if I don't pay, she will leak the information. Not necessarily. We will file a preventive legal measure today, and we will look for the other victims to make a collective complaint against her. Richard Taylor betrayed me. He warned her that we were talking. That means he is still being blackmailed by her. She probably never stopped extorting money from him. How so? The initial payment was just the beginning. She probably keeps asking for money by threatening to break the confidentiality agreement. It's a more elaborate scheme than we thought. Michael felt nauseous when he realized the extent of Jennifer's scheme. What do we do now? First, you go home and stay with your daughter. We don't want her to try to use the girl as leverage. Second, my colleagues here will file the appropriate legal measures. Third, we will contact the other victims directly. And if she carries out the threat, she won't carry it out if she knows she can be arrested for it. Blackmail is a serious crime. She could get 2 to 8 years in prison. Michael left the office and went to pick up Em from school early. He needed to make sure his daughter was safe while the legal situation was resolved. "Daddy, why did you come to pick me up early?" asked Em, surprised. "I thought we could spend the afternoon together. How about we go to the movies?" "Can I really? What movie are we going to see?" "Whatever you want, Princess." During the movie session, Michael tried to concentrate on the children's movie, but his mind kept creating scenarios of what could happen. What if Jennifer tried to kidnap Em? What if she showed up at the school? What if she convinced some judge that she had rights over the child? "Daddy, are you okay?" "You're not paying attention to the movie," whispered Em. "Sorry, Princess, I was thinking about work." "Do you want to leave?" "No, I want to stay here with you." "Is the movie good?" "It's great. The princess is going to save the kingdom all by herself without needing a prince." Michael smiled. His daughter always rooted for independent heroines. "That's good. Strong princesses are the best." "Daddy, can I be a strong princess like her?" "You already are, Em. You already are." After the movies, they went for ice cream, and Michael decided to tell his daughter in an age-appropriate way what was happening. "Princess, remember we talked about Aunt Jennifer yesterday?" "I remember." "Well, today I found out she really isn't a good person, and she might try to do bad things to our family." "What kind of bad things?" "She might try to mess up Daddy's work, or she might try to convince other people that we are a bad family." "But we're not a bad family." "Of course we're not. But sometimes bad people make up lies about good people. Like Madison at school, who made up that I stole her pencil." "Exactly like Madison. Only Aunt Jennifer is an adult, so her lies can cause bigger problems." "What are we going to do?" "Daddy has very good lawyers who will help us. But in the meantime, I need you to always stay close to me or Mrs. Peterson. If Aunt Jennifer tries to talk to you at school or anywhere, you don't talk to her and you call a trusted adult. Okay?" "Okay, I never liked her anyway." "And Em, if you ever feel scared or worried, you tell me, okay? No matter the time, no matter where we are, Daddy will always protect you." "I know, Daddy. You're the best daddy in the world." That night, after Em went to sleep, Michael got a call from Mr. Thompson. "Michael, we have news. We managed to contact 3 of Jennifer's other victims, and they all agreed to file a collective complaint against her." "Is that good?" "It's great. With multiple complaints, her case becomes much more serious, and we found out she didn't act alone." "What do you mean?" "She has an accomplice, Richard Taylor himself. He wasn't a victim, he was a partner. They've been working together on this scheme for years." Michael felt like he'd been punched in the stomach. "Richard has been lying from the beginning?" "Exactly. He pretends to be a victim, gains the trust of the next real victims, and then passes information to Jennifer. It's a very well-crafted scheme. That's why he called her when he found out I was investigating." "Exactly, he's her informant. And now we have legal grounds to arrest them both. The operation will happen tomorrow morning. You need to stay home with your daughter while it happens." Michael barely slept that night. Around 6 in the morning, he got a call from Mr. Thompson. "Michael, it worked. Jennifer and Richard have been arrested, and we found much more at her house than we expected." "What kind of things?" "Documents from at least 15 different victims over the last 8 years. She has detailed records of every scheme, like it was a professional job. And my documents? They were seized. You don't need to worry about information leaks. Mr. Thompson, I can't believe I almost married that woman. Michael, you were the victim of a professional criminal. Don't blame yourself for that. The important thing is that you realized it in time and protected your daughter. And her? Will she stay in jail? With what we found, she could get 15 to 20 years in prison, and she'll have to return the money she extorted from all the victims. When Em woke up, Michael greeted her with an extra tight hug. Good morning, Princess. Did you sleep well? I did. Why are you so happy today? Because Daddy solved the problem with Aunt Jennifer. She won't bother our family anymore. Forever? Forever. That's great. Can we go back to being just the two of us now? Yes, we can. And you know what? I think we're perfect, just like this. 3 months later, Michael and Em were at a party at her school, celebrating the end of the school year. Em had won the award for best drawing in her class, a piece about my family. The drawing showed her and Michael holding hands, smiling with the phrase, "My small family, but full of love." "Daddy, look how many people came to talk to me about my drawing," said Em, beaming. "It's because you made a beautiful drawing about a beautiful family." The teacher said a family doesn't need to have lots of people to be special. The teacher is right. Daddy, can I ask you something? You always can. Do you miss having a girlfriend? Sometimes I think about it, but I don't miss it. You know why? Because I have you, and you are the most fun company there is. And if one day someone really nice comes along, someone who really likes me, if one day someone comes along who loves you the way you deserve to be loved, we'll talk about it. But for now, we're doing just fine like this. I think so too. Daddy, can I make another drawing for you when we get home? Of course you can. What drawing do you want to make? A drawing of the two of us at the park playing, to show that sometimes two people are already a complete family. Michael hugged his daughter, feeling immense gratitude for having discovered in time who Jennifer really was, for protecting not only himself, but especially the most important child in his life. 6 months after Jennifer's arrest, Michael received an unexpected call. It was from a journalist who was doing a story about the case. "Mr. Anderson, I'd like to talk about how you discovered Jennifer Wilson's scheme. Your story could help other parents protect themselves. I can certainly talk if it helps other families. What was it that most caught your attention about her behavior?" "The way she treated my daughter when she thought no one was watching. A person who truly loves us can't fake love for a child. Do you have any advice for single parents who are starting a new relationship? Trust children's instincts. They sense falseness much faster than adults, and never ignore signs of a lack of empathy, especially toward the most vulnerable." "How is your daughter today?" "She's doing great, more confident, happier. She learned a valuable lesson about not trying to earn the love of people who don't deserve to be in our lives." "And you, do you plan to date again?" "Not for now. I'm focused on being the best father I can be. If one day someone special comes along, someone who genuinely loves my daughter maybe. But I'm not looking. I've discovered our family is complete just the way it is." A year later, Michael was organizing a 9th birthday party for Em when he received an unexpected letter. It was from one of Jennifer's other victims, a businessman from Washington, D.C. "Dear Michael, I read the report about your courage in reporting Jennifer and Richard. I wanted to thank you personally. Because of you, they were arrested before they could harm my family. My children are safe thanks to you. Thank you for choosing to do what was right, even when it must have been difficult. A grateful father, Stephen Miller." Michael showed the letter to Em, explaining in an age-appropriate way how his courage had helped other families. "Daddy, you're a hero," said Em, hugging him. "I'm not a hero, Princess. I just did what any father would do to protect his daughter. But you also protected other children you don't even know." "That's true. And you know why? Because all children deserve to be protected and truly loved. Like you love me? Exactly like I love you." At Em's birthday party, surrounded by her little friends, her grandparents Margaret and William, Mrs. Peterson, Michael realized how rich and complete his life was. He didn't need a woman to validate his family or to be happy. During the birthday song, watching his daughter's radiant smile, Michael made a silent wish that she would always know how to recognize genuine people, that she would never try to earn forced love, and that she would always remember she was loved unconditionally. "Dad, thank you for the best party in the world," said Em, still with chocolate from the cake on her face. "Thank you for being the best daughter in the world," he replied, gently wiping the chocolate off her face. "Daddy, can I tell you a secret?" "Of course." "I'm glad Aunt Jennifer is gone. Now I can be myself all the time, without trying to be perfect, so someone will like me." "You can always be yourself, Em. Never forget that. And you can be yourself too, Daddy. You don't need to date anyone just so I can have a mother. I already have everything I need." Michael hugged his daughter tightly, realizing how much she had emotionally matured through that difficult experience. She had learned one of life's most important lessons. True love doesn't need to be earned. It simply is. End of story. So, what did you think of this story? Did Michael make the right choice by deciding to protect his daughter? Tell us in the comments which part moved you the most, and if you've ever been through a similar situation. Your opinion is very important to us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other touching stories like this one. Thank you so much for joining us.